Welcome curious souls to Magically Different Mouse. It's spooky season. I'm Katie and we are here to experience the beginning of Halloween at Disneyland Paris. So keep tuned to this video to find out everything that Halloween season has to offer at the Disneyland Paris resort. It's official everyone, Halloween is a-coming. I'm just going to look at some of the decor that is around here on Main Street that have been done for the Halloween season. But yeah, the first thing to notice are these cool lights. This is a normal street lighting here for Main Street, but they swapped out the light shades for orange and green at the top, and I did a witch's hat, which is very jolly. Up on the train station, we have some very nice wreath going on in autumnal colours, or fall colours for our American friends. And here, in like the entrance town square, we have themed ghosties. And they're kind of themed sort of to bits of Main Street. So you've got the one over here, which is a tennis player, as is this guy. You've then got this very cute photo op. And you can see all around the square we've got those light shades. And kind of like the full wreathing as well. There you go, there's the photo op without anyone in it quickly. I'll just get out of the way. And then we can get closer to these ghosties over here. As well as that, there's like glass pumpkins on the floor around them. No one's taken the picture of the political ghost. Maybe people have had enough of world politics. Frankly, I wouldn't blame them. It's not really much fun at the moment. Oh, I don't know if you can see there, but up on Tower Hall, City Hall, is it here, sir? And next to the Golden Eagle in the middle, we've got a pumpkin. Some Dapper Dan-esque ghosties. It's interesting, you don't actually have the Dapper Dans at this park. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I kind of want this for my house. Up here, we have baseball ghosties. You can see this one's sitting in the bulge, the other one is ready to catch. And in the middle we have more giant Mickey pumpkins. Here we have a lady in drink ghostie. He's not very happy because she's dripped ice cream on his hat. I just like a good ice cream though. I love the ghost dog, but it's so cute. Oh my god. And then you've got these awesome Mickey pumpkins. Here next to the town centre gazebo. And those kind of like colourful pumpkins are all around the hub square here. No big pumpkin on top of the gazebo. It might be they haven't done that for years. This is their first time doing Halloween for quite a while. But they used to turn the entire top of the centre gazebo into a giant pumpkin. Maybe it was too much trouble to keep doing, to be surprised. This is the other of our baseball ghosties over here. Over here, we have Chef Ghosty, who's serving up some delicious pumpkins. Although as that pumpkin looks glass, I don't think you'd want to eat it, if I'm honest. And this poor ghosty has toothache. Which might seem a bit random, except for the fact, just up there in those windows, is the dentist office. And if you stand here listening long enough, you can hear some of the dentist patients having a, we call it really bad time? Yeah. Up there, on top of New Century Notions, is the Gifts for All Seasons. And next to that, I don't know if you can see, but there's another pumpkin. Okay, there we go, before someone else jumps in. There's a photo op. We've got this cute family of ghosties. Although the dog looks alive in this case. If you look up here on the Emporium, you can see they've got more of that lovely autumn-esque garland going on. So lots of sunflowers as well as autumnal colour leaves. And that carries over into the garland that goes all the way down Main Street as well. Sorry, you nearly got run over by the paddy wagon. That would be unfortunate. Yeah, you can see there's strings of garland hanging over the road all the way down Main Street, USA. Interestingly, we used to do decor similarly to this across the street in Magic Kingdom in Florida, but they had to stop because of the parade floats. Thankfully, I don't think any of the parade floats are tall enough that interferes here in Paris, so we can do it. But there's lots of pumpkins up in this garland, as well as character lanterns. Here we have another ghostie who's playing like a wind organ thing. Here's a very dapper ghostie from next to the Emporium. Now, a lot of them are kind of themed to the location. So, the ghostie outside the Boardwalk Candy Palace was like an organ that you'd find on an old-fashioned boardwalk. We've got a dapper guy outside of the Emporium. And here, outside Main Street Motors, we've got a lyric Kelly ghostie. It should be noted that that isn't actually a car shop. It sells adult clothing. So if you're ever in this park and looking out for things like lounge flyers and that kind of stuff, it's not a bad place to go have a look. Here we have Fancy Lady Ghostie, who's sporting a lovely range of pumpkin jewellery if you're the whole house. There goes her dog's tag, and she's got a pin of it as well. And that makes sense because we're at Harrington's at the moment, which is one of the places in this park where you can buy Pandora jewellery and other collectibles. There we go, artist ghostie. And yeah, there's a photo op there, so someone can put their head through that hole if they want to have their photo done. Now, the other big hub for Halloween decor in this park is Frontierland, so we will go and have a look over there in a bit. But yeah, it gives you an idea of some of the Halloween decor you can find and the photo opportunities. Here's some footage we recorded of the decorations that are also in Frontierland. There are two themes going on here. There's a Day of the Dead theme that ties in with Coco and Goofy in a skeleton outfit. This very much is because you can meet Miguel as part of the Halloween celebration in this land. You can see the Libres as well. Now around that you also have pumpkin theme. So the Day of the Dead section is kind of in the middle of the land and the pumpkins are kind of on either end. So definitely walk up towards the Frontierland Theatre because a lot of them are up there. But you could also find some down towards Phantom Manor as well, at the end of the line. And the pumpkins are all kind of doing various kind of like old-style Wild West town farming vibes going on. So it makes some really nice photo ops here as well. So between this and Main Street, there's plenty for you to take photographs with. And of course, there's the Unlucky Nugget adding to the decor. We've picked up the Halloween Scavenger Hunt. This is a new entry for this year, and it's kind of a trick-or-treating adventure around Disneyland Park. You pick up your map in the Boardwalk Candy Palace, here on Main Street, USA, and the aim of it is that you have to find several themed doors that have been added in each of the lands of the park. Now, when you find them, if you put the relevant coloured sticker on your M&M map, and then once you've got them all, you can go back to the Main Street and collect your prize. This is the first door we've come to here on Main Street, USA, and it's about a missing magician. And you can see this is the green M&M door, so we put a green sticker on our map, and we go from there and find the others. Now here are the footage of the other doors that are scattered around the park. We won't tell you exactly which one is where, so you can go and find them for yourself. Something to note though, that the location they're shown at on the map is not necessarily where they are in the park. The map is actually kind of inaccurate in places. We would particularly say that's the case for the door that's in Adventureland and the door that's also in Fantasyland. So you might have to do a little bit of hunting around. If you'd like to see the exact location where all the doors are, then you can find that out on our website. If you go to our Complete Guide to Halloween blog, and I'll link it in the description down below, we have got maps there showing the actual location of where all the doors are. Again, we haven't told you which ones are where, but you can find them all. So yeah, each of the lands have one, apart from Frontierland that has two. Now you do get some treats at the end, and spoiler alert for that. What you get is a voucher for 20% off treats in the Boardwalk Candy Palace, and you also get some mini M&Ms. Now another big part of the Halloween celebrations, the characters. You can see here's Mickey and Minnie were greeting guests on the train station. Minnie actually did rather like My Magically Different Mouse ears, so she points at them in a minute and laughs at them, I think, or at least blows a kiss, something like that anyway. But yeah, there's lots of different characters. There's a lot of characters you'll find in different Halloween outfits. We saw Goofy in his skeleton outfit a minute ago. As well as Mickey and Minnie, there's Chip and Dale dressed as ghosts. Tigger's got a party hat on, all sorts of ones around the park. Now, the big meet and greet for it is Jack and Sally. This is virtual queue only, and we didn't get the virtual queue, hence why we're filming at a distance, but they're based at the back of Frontierland, next to the Frontierland Theatre. You can also find villains walking around in the courtyard behind Sleeping Beauty Castle, and some of them have set meet and greets like Jafar does here. The villains in the courtyard do get really mobbed by people. Now, for our main character Halloween meet and greet though, I chose to meet Phantom Manor Mickey.
Ok, look camera. Cheese. Perfect.
So we've just eaten here at the Unlucky Nugget. Now this is normally the Lucky Nugget saloon, but for Halloween season it's the Unlucky Nugget. The premise behind it is that you're attending the doomed wedding reception of Melanie Ravenswood from Phantom Manor, and one of her fiancés, it's not actually named which one of them is supposed to be, and she's got 4 in the ride. So as well as theming the inside of the venue, they've also done a new themed menu for it. Now, theming wise, it's fantastic in there. They've done a really good job. There's like the staging area is essentially set up like the top table with a cake and a piano and all the gifts, and a big portrait of Melanie in her wedding dress, and little effects happen so that a ghostly piano player will start playing at the piano. At times, playing the wedding dirge, and Melanie's portrait will age and the phantom will appear behind her as well, and there's other ghostly effects like the lights flickering and stuff. There's bits of fabric and everything everywhere to kind of give it that kind of old, it's been around for a long while vibe going on. Now, food-wise, we had the Doom Bagel, which is a black bagel with a beef burger inside, avocado crema, cheese and some other items. That came with a mixture of fries and sweet potato fries, and I had the Manor burger, which is pulled chicken, kind of compressed together in a burger with some cheese, some bacon, some Doritos on there, and a kind of like a spicy-esque sauce. Again, that also came with the sweet potato fries and the normal fries. We also had desserts. I had the Tombstone Sundae, which is an ice cream sundae with black popcorn and sauce and a little chocolate tombstone in it, and can have the Madame Yota pie, which was like a mousse, which was incredibly very sweet. Food-wise, it was really well themed, the food. They've done a very, very good job with that. I mean, honestly, for us, it wasn't our favourite, but that might just be our taste more than anything else. The pulled chicken was a real... yeah, it was kind of been pushed back together into a patty shape, so it was a little bit weird. With the Doritos on it, it was a little odd texturally, but you know, it was fun. And the purple bun's kind of cool, but it's just purple. It doesn't taste of anything special because of that. The bagel was very dense. Had a blackcurrant mayonnaise on it, which is a bit unusual, so may not be a good weight for people who are texturally averse. The fries were fine. There were fries. Desserts-wise, yeah, the Tombstone Sundae is literally just soft serve with chocolate sauce, or blackcurrant sauce if you prefer, white chocolate tombstones and black-coloured popcorn, but it's standard toffee popcorn, it's just coloured black. Whereas the Madame Yota dome was like a kind of mousse dome with like a caramel in it and fruit coulis around the outside. That was interesting because the dome was kind of like both kind of like bitter as well as being very, very sweet at the same time. The ice cream sundae was an ice cream sundae. A couple of things to know about the Unlucky Nugget. We are here the first day of Halloween season. It was very, very popular. We did end up waiting quite a bit of time to get into the restaurant, but of course it was the first sitting, so we kind of expected that. If you have a priority pass, you can show that to help you skip over the queue if you're really keen to eat here. The only thing we'll say if you're differently abled is that there's only 2 tables that aren't stair access that you can get a wheelchair up to. So seating for actual like wheelchairs in there is actually really limited. So if you're on a wheelchair, either try and get here for when it opens, which at the moment is 7:30, or maybe be prepared you might have to wait for the table to clear, which isn't great. And also on those tables you are a little bit set back, so you can't really see what's going on in the main ballroom, which has got all the really cool effects on it. So it's not an ideal situation, but that's just a hangover from it being the Lucky Nugget, which is set up in exactly the same way. There's nothing that could change about that for Halloween season. So, well, the food wasn't our favourite, admittedly, but yeah, again, that might just be our taste. We do think it's well worth doing. It's only a very limited time offering, it's only here for this month, up until the 2nd November. And if you love Phantom Manor, definitely do it, because it's so much fun. There's loads of really cool details on there. And if you can, go up to the stage and look at the tags on the presents that Melanie's receiving. You might notice a few familiar figures on there. I just want to talk a bit about Mickey's Halloween celebration as part of the Halloween celebrations here at Disneyland Paris. We just saw the first performance of it. Now what this is, it's a cavalcade. It comes into the park next to the gates, next to It's a Small World. Then it comes around the hub in front of the castle where there's a stage performance. And then the floats then make themselves down Main Street and exit. We were viewing from the Priority Pass area here in the park. And it's a really cute parade. There's only 4 floats in it, but there's a lot of dancers as well. And there's a Winnie the Pooh float, there's Minnie with a cornucopia, there's the Three Caballeros of a harvest theme float, and then there's the Magic Phantom Manor float where Mickey does his quick change in it, so he'll go in one door and come out of another in a different outfit, because he's a magic mouse and we all know that. It also has on it the Phantom and the Bride from Phantom Manor, and it is themed to that. Now the dance they do in the middle is essentially a big celebration of Halloween, and the characters kind of swap around between the platforms in the hub. The hub platforms are raised, so you can get a pretty good view of it from there. It does include that the Phantom and Melanie the Bride does come out onto the stages, and they do join in some of the dancing, which is it's very serious Phantom doing the Charleston is mildly hilarious. But we really loved it. We think it's really worth doing as part of the Halloween celebrations here. It's kind of like the centerpiece of the celebrations here, and I actually think it's a really good one. So yeah, if you come for Halloween, do try and prioritise it. Now at the moment it's on twice a day. That might change as it goes further into Halloween season, but keep an eye out on those show times and make sure you at least catch one of them. And just note that the spots from the hub were going about an hour in advance, so maybe try and get here early so you can see the show. Now, outside of the Unlucky Nugget, there are several Halloween snacks you can find throughout the park. We've thrown in some of the menus here, you can see them on. A lot of them do repeat between different venues, so there's very few of them that are unique to one particular venue. The Gibson Girl ice cream sandwich with Jack Skellington is one of them, you can see here. And also the mini dome cake and these eclairs that I also see at Last Chance Cafe. They're all unique to their location. Other ones that you can find in a few places around the park. One thing we will say about the Halloween treats is that they're pretty much all sweet, so if you don't like sweet stuff, this probably isn't the season for you when it comes to special treats. There is, however, a special menu at Cafe Hyperion and Cowboy Cookout, which features a burger, which we didn't try because we thought it looked gross. Now what we did try was this mini dome cake, which came from Cable Car Bake Shop, and we tried several of the treats from Boardwalk Candy Palace, and we also tried the Cursed Crunch. They're all nice, I don't think any of them blew us away, but they're all decent treats. My favourite, personally, was the Minnie Mouse Cake Pop from Boardwalk Candy Palace. It's essentially just a chocolate brownie cake pop, but it was really rich, really fudgy, and as a chocoholic, I absolutely loved it. But lots of treats for you to try if you'd like to. And when we talk merchandise, there was a few options. There were things like ears, spirit jerseys, Crocs, Loungefly bags, lots of toys, lots of costumes for little ones, lots of treats as well, kind of like packaged biscuits and treats like that. Of course, the ever popular Loungefly bags have come into it, clothing, sort of things like that. Now, the Halloween range is cute, but I will say that if we're used to the US parks, you are going to be rather disappointed with the range that is Disneyland Paris. There's not much in comparison there. They also didn't have any new merch for Phantom Manor, which we found particularly disappointing as it's our favourite ride. And of course, they were doing the Unlucky Nugget, which ties into it. So I think not doing merch tied to that was a bit of a choice, to be honest. Now, if you're looking for merch, it is not in the Emporium. You can find it in the shop in Frontierland, which is where we filmed this footage. On Main Street, you can also find it in New Century Notions. If you're in Disney Village, you'll find it in World of Disney, and if you're over in the Walt Disney Studios Park, they had it in Tower Gifts, which is the Tower of Terror exit gift shop. So yeah, lots of merch available, but yeah, compared to our US park cousins, I'm afraid it is a little bit disappointing here at Disneyland Paris. Now, one of the new offerings for 2025 was the Main Street projections. These start every night when the sun goes down, and they project different scenes on the buildings of Main Street USA using the projectors they put in for Tales of Magic. These are really cool, actually. You get different scenes. There's a kind of like standard fire candle scene, which kind of like links all the scenes together. But then the scenes between that regularly change. So what you see when you're on Main Street might well vary. While we were there filming this bit of footage as well as seeing the candle scene, we also got it changing with ghosts and bats, you can see here. And it's quite cool because I kind of travelled up and down Main Street, and you can see like the pattern on the buildings changing from a distance as well. One of the ones we didn't unfortunately catch on camera was thorns growing over the buildings. We were in the shop when that was going on, and we only caught the very tail end of it as we came out. So unfortunately we did miss that, but that was also really cool. On the fire scene, look out for the black cat, because there is a little black cat that sits in some of the buildings and makes a little bit of a cameo. So yeah, do look out for them, they're very cute as well. And there is also a storm scene, which I'll put a little bit of footage in at the end of this. Now, one thing I'll say about the storm scene is there is flashing lights associated with it, and it is also very loud. So if you've got people who are sensitive to flashing lights, if you've got people who are sensitive to loud sounds, they may not particularly like those scenes. If you see like the rain effects starting, my advice would be to duck into one of the gift shops. But if you don't mind thunder and lightning effects, then do stop to watch it because it is incredibly cool. So curious souls, that calls it for Halloween here at Disneyland Paris. As you can see, Disneyland Park has a lot to offer, including the new projections on Main Street, USA. Seriously, it's worth staying in the park later to see these because they are really epic. I hope this video has helped you see everything that Halloween has to offer here at Disneyland Paris so you can decide what's worth your time. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe to our channel and ding the alerts bell so you're notified when we release a new video. Please also visit us on our blog, it's magicallydifferentmouse.com, and subscribe while you're there. If you subscribe, not only receive our blogs written into your inbox, you'll also receive a free copy of a Magically Different Guide to Disneyland Paris Attraction Accessibility, which also costs only £3 and you can buy that on our website. Please also come find us on some social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram and Blue Sky, and we'll link all those in the description down below. So thank you very much, stay spooky, and we'll see you real soon. Bye bye.